ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? This is 10:32 p.m. in Bali and 8:33 a.m. in California. So it's morning in the U.S. It's late at night here in Bali. I'm visiting with my father, and my sister will arrive in a few hours. So my sister will bring her two kids. So, so we're staying in this beautiful villa here, Airbnb, for until Sunday. So the five of us here. And tomorrow, my sister would like to go to the Bali Zoo, but I don't know if I want to go. Because you know what? I just don't have the same feelings about zoo anymore as I used to, because it's more like captives for animals, and animals are not supposed to be put in captivity, so I'm an animal lover now. So I'm not sure I want to go. So if I don't go, then of course I'm gonna work, right? What else? That is my hobby. My vocation is my vacation. Hi, anyway, Luisa, how are you? Love your top. Thank you, Luisa. Yeah, is it a dress? Yeah, it's a top, but this is like kind of like, what do you call this thing? Like a shroud, like a cardigan, or whatever you call it. I got it in Perth. So yeah, this is the first time I actually wear this. And to everyone who just joined in, thank you for being here. Please love, like, comment, say hi, or forward this broadcast, so it helps me get traction in the newsfeed. And of course, every time I come, I'm gonna share a lot of life lessons that will change your life. And 2 weeks ago, I was in Vietnam, right? I was in Hanoi, and at that time, I was announcing that our engagement tally was at number 17. And now, 2 weeks later, guess how many engagements or what number we're already at? You wouldn't believe this, but in those 2 weeks, we have added 6 more engagements. So we are now at number 23. So we are already at 6 engagements a month, record. So last year was 5 engagements a month. This year, apparently, we're going into 6 engagements a month. It's no more once a week, no more 5 engagements a month. It is insane, but it is what it is. So you can check my walls about the new announcements from all these lovely ladies who themselves reveal that they got engaged in the groups, both in our free group one, and in the other secret group as well. So what else do I want to announce before I start? Of course, we will have an event, right? May 18, which is the Goddess Bootcamp and Full Moon Party. So anyone who is in California should really attend this special event, okay? Because you will learn all the secrets that only Karina knows about goddesshood, okay? The reason my engagement tally or my success rate is very high, because I am very inspiring, because I know how to inspire you to tap into your inner goddess and bring it out. So any man who finds you physically attractive will go gaga on you. That is a guarantee. Okay, and some of the latest engagements, again, they don't actually buy anything from me. They just stay in the group, lurk, participate, read posts and comments, and they got engaged 6 months later, just like that. You see? That's what happens when you stick with the real deal. Okay, so stick to this page, like the page, follow, and check see first. So you are always in the loop for every new post and new class. And again, don't forget to love, like, and comment as well. Say hi. Hi, Irene. Okay, so other than the full moon party, we also have the summer retreat in my home, which is June 27th throughout 30th. And you will fly back on July the 1st, featuring one-day workshop on overcoming depression. So I really would love to invite you ladies to really taste, you know, the goddess vibe, feminine magnetism vibe in all my retreats. So if you cannot afford to go abroad, for those in the US, please just come, fly to California, right, and stay. Not with me, but you'll be staying in a hotel around. One day, probably I will have a dorm or a boardroom, boarding house or something to accommodate all of you. That will be great. Right now, though, I only have 3 available guest rooms, and usually they are used by the crew, right? So you will stay around the hotels in the neighborhood, and you can choose to get your own hotel, or you can get the package with hotels as well. And actually, I don't have the $500 off early bird special anymore, but as usual, I haven't changed the price. So this is like the last day, ladies. If you still want the early bird specials for $500 off, sign up, and I will post the links later. Okay, do not wait until tomorrow or the next day, because it will no longer be $500 off. And I'm serious about it. Okay, because I always start very low price to allow you who already has a plan to come to my retreats but can only afford so much to sign up as soon as possible, as early as possible. Okay, and the next retreat will be in Ireland in September. Excuse me, ladies, let me drink this. September, Ireland, in a castle. I will also post the link. I think have 1 seat left for $1,000 off. Hopefully it's still around when I post the link. So again, you know, be quite fast. And the last retreat this year will be in Bali in November. And I will probably also like have a quick tour in the property either tomorrow or the next day to show you around the property. So stay tuned. So hopefully when you look at the property, how beautiful it is, how large and beautiful, by the beach, by the way, you'll be inspired to sign up. Oh my God, what happened? And $1,000 off still. 1 seat left. So I'll post the links later. All right. And another thing, I have a class in the monthly membership. I'm gonna talk about the principle of mirroring. So if you have a problem about, or you don't have a proper understanding of what mirroring is all about, this class is just made for you. And when you sign up for just the class, it's only $97. It's not gonna $5,000. Right? I'm sorry, I keep saying it because it's funny. It's not gonna be $5,000, right? So it's $97 just for the class, or $87 month to month with minimum 2 months. And I will also post the link later. And oh my goodness, there is another group coaching that is going on called Midas Touch, the exploration of your genius zone. And we're gonna have a class on Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the subject is work ethics. So if you really are curious about how to be financially, geographically, and emotionally free like me, you might want to invest in this one-of-a-kind program. It's not like the normal business coaching that every business coach under the sun teaches, but this is more like journey inward for business and career, right? So you explore what your interests or your gifts, your talents are really in. Because if you don't do your work according to your gift and talent, and also what you're best at, you're really gonna miss out a lot in life. And in the program, I also teach the way I approach work and life. So you will never get burned out. You will never get stressed out. If you see me, I work around the clock. I've never taken a day off in the last 8 or 9 years I've been in this business. Not a day off. And I work around not eight, usually 10 to 14 hours a day. You think I'm crazy? No, but I'm not. 10 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I never get stressed out. I never get burnt out. And I'm always in the state of a very relaxed state of mind, just like how I am now. And there is a secret to it. And I teach all that in this program. And I'm telling you, nobody else teaches you this thing, because this thing is so elusive to the vast majority of people. Yeah, we have very successful people. We have very, very rich people, in fact, right? Who get really, really wealthy through their profession, through their business or career. And they also work like 10 to 14 hours a day, but it comes with a price for them. They are usually very stress prone. They're very unhappy with their lives, right? They're depressed. They're totally burned out. Do you hear that a lot? I bet you do. So this is one thing that I am unique in this regard. I don't get burnt out at all. And you will understand in this program how I do that. How I can work so much, produce so much, accomplish so much in my life and never get stressed, never get overwhelmed. But in fact, the more I do, the more I enjoy it, the more I love it, and the more I expand. There is a secret to it. And I teach you in this program. Okay, so this is the program for you to explore your genius zone. Your genius zone is when you are totally out of your neurosis zone. When you're out of your neurosis zone, you don't spend any minute worrying about anything at all, especially about things that are beyond your control, things that haven't even happened yet. So this is why I'm very single-minded, very focused. And with that kind of single-mindedness, that total absorption of the moment, I can accomplish so much and I can leverage my time. So the principle of time leverage will be taught in this program, is all being taught in this program as well. Okay, so imagine if you spend, say, 3 to 5 hours a day just worrying about anything at all. So I want you to look into yourself. How many times or how many hours a day do you spend worrying about anything beyond your control, about anything that hasn't happened yet, about stupid stuff that doesn't even have any relevance or any bearing to your life, like, for example, politics. Of course, you will say, oh, but politics has a lot of bearing into my life. Yeah, maybe some of it, but not really, not the 99% of it. So if you're always following the news, looking at what this politician says, PRV, that politician says, it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, and then you're gonna spend like hours into these wasteful activities. That don't improve your lives. Okay, so I'm how political I am is probably I would just vote and that's it, and then let go. I vote and then let go, not spending any amount of time worrying about this and that or the other. Okay, if I cannot have control, if I don't have any control upon what happens in society, I just just focus on things that I can have control on, which is my life, which is my work, which is my business. That's what I have the total control on. Okay, so imagine if you just spend, for example, 3 hours a day worrying. That is where you are in your neuroses zone. How many hours is that in a week? That is like 21 hours. And how many hours is that in a month? 21 times 4, it's like 84, right? My math's still working. 84 hours in a month. And then times 12 months. How many hours is that? So get the calculator out. But you get the drift. So most of your life, ladies and gentlemen, you spend on stuff that don't improve your life and only sap good energy. That is why all of you, or most of you, are rarely happy in life. Most of you are, more often than not, stressed out, burned out, or depressed because you live in your neurosis zone. Okay, and the more you live in your neurosis zone, the more you will be locked out of your genius zone. So in this program, I will teach you how to always be in your genius zone 24/7. 24/7. Because when you are in your genius zone 24/7, you will not get tired so easily. You will get tired, of course, by the end of the day, because it requires calories to work. But only that, not on top of that, the calories of worrying, like most of you add on top of the calories of doing the actual work, right? So I cut out all the calories of worrying about things that I have no control of, about things that haven't happened yet, about things that don't have any bearing to my life right here, right now. So I just focus on things that expand me, that create joy in my life. And because I'm so immersed in the moment, to me, the path is the destination. The path or the process is as rewarding as the destination or as the goals. That's why I keep my spirit always high. That's why I don't get burned out. And of course, the exercises and everything else, you will learn in the program. And this Sunday, I'm gonna talk about work ethics. Okay? If you don't have work ethics, ladies, you will not go far in anything that you do in life, in your endeavor in life. If you do something because you want to make money first, you're not gonna go far. You have to do something for a purpose larger than yourself. If you want to go far, if you just want to go beyond paying your bills, if you want to be super successful, to be independent in every sense of the word, you have to go for something larger than yourself. That is the reason why I am where I am today. It's not because I want to make money, but the money becomes the effect of my contribution to your life, to society, to changing people's lives, to creating impact in my industry. That is how money follows you like a shadow. So don't worry about money. Like I always say, worry about being useful first. Worry about being impactful first, and money will follow you like herpes. I'm sorry, that's the truth. Like they say, love is temporary, but herpes is forever. So it's just a joke, okay? Lighten up. So I will ask if you have any questions, ladies, please put in the comment section. Meanwhile, I will start answering questions from the ladies who already put their questions earlier today. So this is from Elita. You know, this is related to what I'm talking about here, because he's asking about job or career. Hi, Kat. My question is career related. I hear at work that I need to be more aggressive to get promotions, raise, etc. What would you advise? Here, okay, don't follow what I say, but always go into life, be open to try anything. And you will know soon enough if that thing works for you or not. So, okay, I don't know if it's true. If I become more aggressive and demanding, I will get promotions, raise, etc. Maybe practice it. See what happens. And very soon you will realize this is not me. This is not worth it. You know, it is like a burden to me to be someone who I am not, to be aggressive, to be demanding, to be obnoxious, right? Might get me what I want, but in the end, am I really happy with this? Like, is it really worth all my time and energy being someone I am not to do this? Okay, so I cannot answer that for you because everyone is different. There are some women who are naturally go-getters, who are okay being go-getters because that is where they are in their journey. Okay, I used to be like that too, but it didn't take me far. It didn't make me get promotion or anything like that. So based on my experience, my limited experience, it didn't work, but who knows, it might work for you. Okay, there are probably indeed women who go far in their life, in their career, by being very aggressive. Okay, but whether or not they're happy after all the things that they acquire in their life, that's a totally different subject. So, but pretty much your true self will start screaming. Whenever you catch yourself not happy doing what you're doing, being obnoxious, being aggressive, being demanding, then you realize, this is not who I am, and I sustain so much energy to be this person. So no, probably I won't do that. Then you go back to just surrender to who you truly are, which is probably not very competitive, which is fine. If that's your natural self, that is what you need to embrace. You're not going to follow what your mind tells you because the mind doesn't know. Okay, you only know whenever you are in the midst of it and you feel it in your body, you feel it in your heart. Only through your feelings you know if something works for you. Okay, and the more you study under me, study what I teach, the more in tune you are with your feelings. So you rarely will ever doubt your feelings. I trust my feelings 100%. Whenever I feel something is not quite right, I can feel it in my body. And I will just let it go. I will say, this thing stress me out because I can feel the stress is in my body. This thing stresses me out. I don't want to pursue it more, no more. That is what not being run by your ego really means. Because when you're connected to your feelings, to who you truly are, to your body, you are not operating based on the ego. The ego is when your mind is telling you, giving you narrative, giving you stories, this is you need to do. No, you cannot do this, you have to do this, you have to do that, like other people do that. You have to, so you follow the minds, but meanwhile, your heart, the core of your being is struggling and resisting it every step of the way, okay? That is the very definition of a split mind. So your mind tells you you have to be this person, and your heart, who you truly are at the core, says, no, I cannot be that person, I am this person. So this is, you are split into two, okay? This split mind causes so much suffering, causes so much stresses, burnout, and depression. So the only way you can minimize it is like what I say, when you become one, you bring the split mind back together again at the center. So that is also the very definition of being in your genius zone. When you are in your neurosis zone, you are in your split mind, and it takes tons of energy to sustain it, because it's like inner conflict 24/7. Okay, I don't have inner conflict. Whatever I decide moment to moment, I honor myself. I trust myself. I trust my feelings moment to moment, whatever it is. Sometimes the feelings probably are not positive. Sometimes the feelings are like, even like anger or resentful, but I trust my feelings as they arise in the moment, as the expression of my authenticity. Only when you become united within yourself, not someone with a split mind, you will understand what it means being one with what is, whatever that is. You don't judge yourself. You don't judge yourself because you're angry. You don't judge yourself because you're feeling resentful right at this second. You don't judge yourself because you're feeling jealous, for example, or envious, because those are normal emotions. People who are emotionally intelligent, they honor their feelings moment to moment. And through that honoring of their feelings, they have no conflicts whatsoever with who they are moment to moment. Because they have no conflicts, they easily let them go. So all these negative emotions, they will go away by themselves, dissipate by themselves, because they're not being resisted, they're not being entertained. Resisting your feelings is the same as entertaining it. This is the one skill that will change your life forever, that nobody else teaches in this world. And I'm telling you, sign up for my Journey Inward, because that program will blow your mind away. If you want to be a person so functional and so accomplished like me, you want to be united within. And there is a way toward that goal. And I am teaching it. So please sign up for my Journey Inward. It will change your life forever. It's not just the typical inner work program that everybody sells about the law of attraction, about manifesting. It's a dime in a dozen. And you can get those things for free on YouTube anyway. So you don't have to pay $5,000 for that. Okay. I'm just telling you. But the stuff that I teach is so original, nobody else can teach it. Why nobody else teaches this? Because very few people are at the place in which they are crystallized, they are united within themselves, in which they are in their genius zone 24/7, in which they never dwell in their neurosis zone, not even for a minute. That is the ultimate self-mastery. So that is what I teach, the ultimate self-mastery that will bring you far in life like nothing else. Like no inner work program, no self-help programs will help you. yeah, I'm not belittling that, anyone has their own ways to teach you some inner work skills, right? Everyone has a role in kind of expanding your awareness. Um, but to come to the point in which there is no more separation between you and reality, that is the rare skin very few humans have mastered. So this is not one, like a dime in a dozen kind of programs, self-help programs, or inner work programs that everybody under the sun sells. All right. So I hope that answered your question, Elita. Um, this is from Anne. Is it normal to feel weird about being non-triggered about things most women are triggered by? I am so chilled now, I'm kind of shocked. Don't get me wrong, I don't feel like a doormat in any way. It's totally, probably not quite normal, but that is part of self-mastery. That is what I teach. So yeah, pat yourself on the back. So people always ask me, how come you teach no expectations? How could we live without expectations and not being a doormat? Well, look at me. I have no expectations of people most of the time. I mean, usually, all the time, pretty much. Okay, but also at the same time, I'm by no means a doormat, man. I can bitch slap anyone, no problem. If I need to speak up, I speak up. If I need to be a bitch, I'll bitch up. So whatever I feel in the moment, I just do it. Because as I said, I have no separation whatsoever with my feelings. Okay, I totally can be me comfortably. That's why if you see me, I'm very real. I'm not trying to be always so nice, politically correct all the time because you don't want to rock the boat, right? Sometimes from time to time I speak about things that are so triggering to people because I feel it needs to be brought up. It needs to be discussed. Okay? Yeah, as the result, some people might block me or delete me or cuss me. I'm okay with that. And you know why I'm okay with that? Because I like myself. I don't need anyone to like me. The only person that you need to be liked by is really yourself. If you already like yourself, it won't bother you if other people don't like you. Seriously. So if you, after this, you want to delete me, you want to block me, go ahead, you know. Because when you come onto a place of full self-acceptance, liking yourself, loving yourself, being so proud of yourself, no matter where you are in your journey, nothing else matters in life, really. Okay, so no, you won't be a doormat just because you're so chilled. I'm so chilled, but am I a doormat? Those who know me, I certainly am not. Right? So good question, Anne. So this is from Sabrina. What, in your opinions, are reasonable deal breakers aside from domestic abuse? Again, to me, these are my deal breakers. Number one, sexual compatibility, right? Because I've been in a relationship in which we are not sexually compatible, and it becomes a thorn, especially when you are at that stage in your life where in which sex is very important to you, right? So if in the beginning it's already so apparent, it's so obvious that you're not going to go far with the kind of sex that you have right now, either the quality or the quantity, then maybe don't force yourself into a relationship like that, So that's why I don't teach you to wait for sex. That is the stupidest advice ever. Why are you gonna wait for sex for 6 months, a year, only to find out that he's so lousy in bed? And then you have developed all these attachments, all this fantasy before sex, all these emotional connections, supposedly, right? And by the way, it takes certain guys too who will wait around for that long. So, but we're not getting into that. So, I mean, like guys who will wait around for sex is usually because they're beta males. You understand? They are feminine energy guys who women usually not attracted to begin with. So, if you like guys that are alpha, that are so handsome, so masculine, that women throw themselves at them, you know, making him wait for sex. Yeah, good luck. So, by the way, we go back to that. For example, if you're sexually incompatible and you are at the stage in which sex is very important to you, then go ahead. Okay, that is mine, and I think it should be yours too if you're a horny woman. And I know a lot of you are horn dogs, so so don't compromise on that one. Okay. And what is another deal breaker of mine? Uh, dishonest in a way that sneaky, a slick kind of person, a weasel, someone with no morals whatsoever, no ethics, right? So lying to, for example, to deceive people, to make money out of people, you know what I'm saying? Not just like lies because they use, you know, they are shady. Yeah, that's the word. I mean, everybody lies. I lie too. We do white lies all the time. We omit a lot of stuff. We don't want people to know. Yeah, I'm good with that. But the kind of shadiness, you know, someone with just that narcissistic tendency or moral character that always me comes first and fuck everybody else and always shift the blame to other, you know, on other people. It's always other people's fault, never my fault, you know, that kind of person. That is my deal breaker. So it's about character. What else are my deal breakers? Maybe smokers. But you know what? If I feel I like a guy so much, I can probably tolerate his smoking as long as he doesn't smoke, you know, near me. You know, smokes outside the house. I don't have that many deal breakers. Just that. You know, as long as we are compatible, we get along most of the time, they respect me, you know, and they're not, for example, have bad credit records, credit scores, right? If some of you finances are important, by all means, you know, you want someone a man who has his ducks in a row, yeah, by all means, that is fine too. So just have 2 or 3 deal breakers, you know, so that those are deal breakers, are something you can't live with. Okay, I cannot live with someone who is a criminal, for example, or who is shady, who doesn't have morals in that way. Okay, but I can live with most other things, you know what I'm saying, because I have so few neuroses. I don't have to worry about what it means when he likes, you know, some women's pictures on Instagram or social media, or Facebook, right? That doesn't worry me as much. Okay, because I'm above that sort of thing. But a lot of you have a long list of expectations of how guys should or should not be. And that's why a lot of time you're always in a bind in all your relationships with men, because you have so much demand. that he needs to be this, needs to be that, you know. And those demands come from because you are insecure. You need validation, you need reassurance. And the more demands you have, right, the more expectation you have, the more likely they are not going to be met. And the harder it is for any guy to please you and to connect with you emotionally. This is why they become EUM, because you're so hard to please. Okay? So when you understand all this, you stop being such a diva. Instead, being such a diva, expecting a guy to save you from yourself, you do the inner work. You sign up for journey inward. So you no longer become this ball of neurosis with a lot of restlessness about every little thing. Okay? Good. So here from Katie, is there such a thing as manifesting your dream man? And if you meet someone whom you have a great time with but doesn't tick all the boxes, how do you decide whether to continue or not? I've recently started dating a guy. We enjoyed each other's company immensely and almost addictive. He was kind, generous, and treated me like a queen. I felt really comfortable and fun around him, which I hadn't felt like for ages. However, some aspects of him does not fit into the image of my ideal mate. For example, he smokes, not as ambitious as I wish my man to be, and isn't as into personal growth as I am. There's definitely connection, but I'm unsure about our compatibility in the long term. What should I do in this instance? Katie, just put him in the rotation. You will know soon enough if you can go far with this person. And then it goes back to the previous question about expectations. You know, so what are your deal breakers? Define your deal breakers. Like I say, if you're not attracted to a guy who's a slacker, who has no job, who is not very ambitious because maybe he's a feminine energy guy, you know, then who smokes, then, you know, honor where you are, but also at the same time maybe give him a chance while not being exclusive with him. You know, if you're still in rotating, you know, you get to see many different men and their characters. Okay, and eventually, naturally, the cream will rise on top without you having to put much thought into it. So if you're not sure, then don't get exclusive until you are sure. Keep dating until you are sure. That is what men do. You know, that is why men are not ready, because they are still checking if Tina has more qualities that they like than you do, for example. They're not sure either way, but they want to figure out if you are better than Tina, whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means when they say, I am not ready. They take their time until they know for sure. And guys are very good to connect with their heart and emotions. So when something feels off, something doesn't feel right about being with a woman, they will not commit. Okay? So there is something that we can learn from guys, you know, so always honoring how they feel moment to moment. And they give themselves time to figure things out. Okay, they're not in a rush. So whenever you put them, you know, like, oh, how do you say it? So you corner them, and then you have their back against the wall, and giving them ultimatums, like you either commit now or I walk away. They usually just say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not ready. You cannot make me. You know, this is not how I want to start a relationship with any woman. That's why they always say they're not ready. Then they fade. They pull back. Okay? So you have to be the same. Take your time. Get to know the guys in your rotation, so you know for sure that one is better and more compatible to you than the others. You get it? All right, let me see the other question here from Melody. Melody just signed up for Midas Touch, ladies. So welcome aboard, Melody. Hi, Kat. I'm curious what's your take on the feeling of loneliness? Is it more inner work that needs to be done? Or is it absolutely normal to feel this sometimes and want to connect with other people? What about feeling lonely even amongst people? Here, do I feel lonely if I'm alone? Absolutely. You know, I'm the sort of person who loves to be in a relationship for a reason, because I'm being alone makes me lonely sometimes. But I like my aloneness, but to be living alone for an extended period of time, no contact with the outside world, no contact with a mate in a relationship, yeah, it will cause me to be lonely. And I don't try to justify or analyze why. I just accept it. It's just who I am. And it's not wrong to be lonely. It's how you're feeling. Okay? But your other question, what about if you feel lonely amongst people? Then there is probably some deeper issues there in terms of your lonely, because you're not happy about where you are in life. Then you feel lonely, or you feel isolated. You feel you cannot connect with people around you, cannot bond with people around you. So yeah, figure out why is it that you lonely among your family, among your friends. Maybe because it's a wrong crowd that you hang out with. Maybe because you don't connect with your family, you don't connect with your friends. Okay? So find out the reason why. But if you're living alone and you barely see anyone, of course, if you feel lonely, that is so normal. We are, human beings are made to be social animals. We need other people. Okay? And the only reason I now live in a mountain away from society, from the crowd, because I have a family that doesn't make me lonely. I love my family, even though only the three of us. That is enough to keep me company, right? But if I have to live alone in that house, that big house, yeah, absolutely, I will feel so lonely. And I'm probably gonna have people come around, stay with me and all that. But so it's normal, it's okay. When you feel lonely, accept you're lonely. So do something about it. Go out, socialize, see your friends. Okay? So no need to overanalyze it. This is from Luisa. Will your partner or boyfriend specifically have doubts? For example, thinking if this relationship is really what he wants, or doubts about the relationship from time to time? Does it take a long time for them to work those doubts out on their own? What makes a man 100% sure of one woman? Is that normal? Yes, absolutely. For guys, it's normal for them to doubt themselves, to pull out, to process their doubts and thoughts. What makes them 100% sure of one woman? When the woman understands that and don't try to cling when he needs time to be on their own, right? Don't push them to open up, don't push them to talk. And if it's ongoing for weeks or months, a wise woman will just, take care of herself as she sees fit. She probably goes back to her rotation. But she won't nag, she won't bitch. She will just take care of herself without an apology, while giving him all the space and time in the world to process what he needs to process. But, he wouldn't have it both ways, because he is not a doormat. So if you want to take your time, take any time you want in the world. But I might not be around when you're out of your man cave. You see, a woman who is loving herself first and foremost has no problem like that. They have no inner conflict to do that. That's why you need to be in my Prince class, next class on the monthly membership on the principle of mirroring. I'll teach you how goddesses mirror and how they mirror without any guilt, without any shame, without any complications, without any inner conflict. What is a goddess anyway? A goddess is an emotionally free woman because she's so emotionally intelligent. That's what a goddess is. Okay, she's free either way. She's never doubting herself. She honors her feelings moment to moment. She does as she pleases. But because she's such a balanced person, whatever she pleases, whatever pleases her that she's doing is not going to harm herself or him or the relationship. You see, it takes self-mastery to be able to do that. And only one person can teach you how to be a tall goddess with the utmost emotional intelligence. That person is Karina Pang. So stick with this page, stick with me, and get my ebook. It's so cheap, okay? So I hope that answered your question, Luisa. Let's see here. This is from Elizabeth. When you're feeling triggered by something that happens, maybe a memory from your past, how to let it not affect your present relationship, please? In which situations should we bring up the topic with our man, and which should we ignore or work on ourselves? If you know this is just something that triggers you from the past, then you process it. You know, don't always express whatever triggers you. But later on, when after processing it, you know, the subject comes up, then you can express your feelings. Check my YouTube video on why feeling messages don't work and how to make them work. So later on, when the subject comes up, you can share how you feel, but you share it because you want to achieve any agenda. You share it because you just want to share it. It's in the context of the conversation. You understand? So do the inner work, Elizabeth, so then you will become more discerning on when to express your feelings, when to keep your mouth shut. So that is the result of inner work. So when you know, is this not worth bringing the subject? When you know it's gonna create an argument like it always did in the past, someone with emotional intelligence will not do that. But if they do it anyway, they know how to do it without any expectation of fixing or changing or blaming the other person. And as I said, it takes emotional intelligence to pull it off. Okay. All right. Any other questions, ladies? So let me see. This is from Louisa. Well said, Kat. You are describing me 101%. Worry is like my middle name. I worry about everything. Okay, I'm glad it worked. This class worked for you, Louisa. And you say again, the only time I'm not worrying or overthinking is when I'm sleeping. Sometimes, even in my dreams, I'm still thinking hard. Even in my dreams, I'm still worrying. I know. Well, whoever you are in real life, that's going to be who you are in your dreams as well. You know? Let's see. There is a question from Elita. You made my day, Kat. You are so on point. I can't be aggressive and pushy now because it feels unnatural to me. I'm gradually accepting who I am, a softer person, and at peace that way. Love you. Thank you. Love you too. This is from Tracy. My question is, when a guy says to you that he deserves to be happy, what is he really trying to say? Maybe you annoy him so much. That is why. Maybe you are such a nag, Tracy. Look at your behavior. What are the relationships like? So he has to say that. Maybe because he is unhappy with you. That's what it means. He deserves to be happy. So did he say it while dumping you? So yeah, vaccine will work, Tracy. That's what it means. Well, I mean, assuming that you've been fighting, or give me a context when he actually says those things, that thing. This is from Christine. My ex-UM came back and wants to work on us and wants to be exclusive. No boyfriend actions yet other than just via phone texting. He told me he had considered us official already. What is the goddess way to tell him I'm going to wait for consistent actions before being exclusive and taking on a girlfriend role? Or do I need to? My guess is that I don't need to. That is bringing the talk. Get my ebook, please, Christine. Okay, less talk is the better. You show it with your actions. You show it with your energy. Be a goddess. You communicate with your energy and emotions, but not like neurotic emotions. Not like, but more like grounded emotions. When you are not like turned on or you're not impressed, you just like chill about it, and he will know that you're not impressed. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to say much. Okay. And it's from Christine again. I don't want to push him away or come off as not interested because obviously I want him, but still need to be easy to lose. Fine line for me because I'm still battling being anxious and excited. He's back. Just see how it goes. He hasn't brought the talk, then don't. Get my how to be high value and easy to lose class. That will shed so much light into what a goddess needs to have. Okay, Christine? And come to the retreat as well. Where do you live? The retreat will teach you all that. This is from Hillary. Yes, I agree. My question is, have you changed or just for the moment? It's hard to not hear from him. I block and unblock. I don't know what you're referring to. Have you changed? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. This is from MB. Does e-maintenance relationship or e-thithering ever work out? We date maybe once a month, but text and call every day. I have an executive position and he works 2 jobs. We also work different shifts. We have been in contact every day since Thanksgiving. I'm rotating, but my heart is with him. He is a DJ he DJs on the weekends and has always provided an open invitation to his events and always rolls out the VIP treatment when I attend and is very attentive. We have not had sex and we almost seem more like friends, although he is insisting he wants more than friends, but wants it to organically develop. I'm confused. I'm doing journey inward, so I hope to enlighten myself. Okay, if you only see once a month, the main reason being that you both are very busy, he works 2 jobs, then, just keep rotating. As simple as that. He's not a boyfriend yet. So long he's not a boyfriend and he's not fulfilling your needs to be in constant, like, close proximity, like at least, see you a few times a week. That's what, to me, boyfriends are. At least 3-4 times a week, we're together and we talk every day. That's what boyfriend is. So unless, he changes his frequency to that, then you're single. So what do you do when you're single? You talk to guys, all right? Don't close up your options. That's all you do. Doesn't matter, you talk every day. But if you only meet once a month, that's not enough. Not enough for me anyway. If that's enough for you, then, everyone's different. But all I know, most women want more than once a month. Okay. And how long have you been seeing each other? Why no sex yet? You see, this is the thing. If you guys are so hung up not about purity, not having sex, any relationship rarely goes a distance without sex. So, I say it as it is. This is from Samira. Please talk a little about turning jealousy into opportunities. Get the class, Samira. That's a long, it's a long class. So, get the class, please. And I'll put the link to that class. This is from Lashunda. Recently divorce is final. When our relationship goes haywire over confusion, outside meddlers and misunderstandings, and eventually we are just exhausted. He asks for a break, so you give it to him, but you worry in the meantime. Will you hear back from him? Will he find a better person? So, are you talking about your ex-husband, right? Yeah. Any breakup is never really clear cut right away. It will sort of go into gray area for at least a few months, sometimes a few years. So will you hear back from him? I believe so. So, just give him time to process. Okay. So what is this outside meddlers and misunderstandings? That's why, Lashunda, have inner work. If you do the inner work, stuff like this wouldn't happen in the first place. Do you think anyone can meddle into my relationship with you? No. We have such a great bond because I'm a healed person. He's not totally healed, but when he is with someone who is healed, I only bring out the best in him. You see, this is the opposite of codependency. Lashunda, you're a codependent, and your marriage was codependency. A codependency. You both brought out the worst in each other. Get my codependent class. I will put the link later. Okay, that is what codependency is. When you are in a relationship that is so painful, that brings out the worst in each other, and usually you cannot get out, and you always be drawn back together into the same cycle of toxicity. Okay? But when one person does the inner work, when one person is healed, the other person will respond to that. That is how I can help you save your relationship and save your marriages by only working on you, or by only working with you. I don't have to know your husband or your boyfriend, but I just work with your mindset. I just work with your awareness. The minute you are transformed, he will see that shift in you and he will respond accordingly. Okay, that is the genius of what I teach. It works all the time, every time, because a Buddha mind teaches that. All right, ladies, let's see. There is more question. I think probably there is another one here. This is from Ines. My boyfriend for 14 months was strongly pulling back last summer. So we were close to break up. I leaned way back from September to December, although I was so emotionally invested. But things went much better by the end of the year. Since January, he is consistently calling or writing or answering, initiating weekends and get-togethers, but not as frequent as I wish. I know all his friends, his father, workmates, and I know I can't change neither him nor his circumstances, like work, teenage kids. But how can I handle my impatience and anxieties? He calls me his girlfriend, but I feel like single. then you are single, Ines. If you feel like single, you are single. Doesn't matter what he says. How long have you been following me? Why do you keep asking the same stupid question? That's why I say when I'm asked, I control my reactiveness and I do not chase him or lash out anymore. But my anxieties and sick thoughts are eating me up right now. Any advice? How can I draw my expectations? We do long distance. What makes it even? We do long distance. What makes it even more complicated? No, it's not complicated. You make it complicated because you're not following my advice. And I think you read the ebook already. Why are you not following the ebook? When you follow me, follow the advice, please. So he's not a boyfriend, okay? And get in also the monthly membership on mirroring. So you need to mirror him. You need to meet people where they are. It's all this guilt, man. Guilt for what? He doesn't feel guilty. Why you should feel guilty about someone who is not feeling guilty about not responding to you or about not giving you what you want. That is what ego is, that guilt ego. Get rid of it. Meet people where they are. He's not committed to you. Stop asking what I should do. Don't commit to him. Date again. That's what you need to do. It's so simple. You keep asking the same questions, ladies. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Sorry. So, anyway, I think that's enough from me. It's already almost midnight and my sister will come soon. So I will probably see you again either I don't know, when I come back in California, I'll do another class probably. Okay. I'll talk to you again when I talk to you, ladies. And meanwhile, stay goddessy, stick to this page, stick to my teachings. Don't go anywhere because I give you every answer to all your relationship and life issues. But before I go, I want to show you a little bit. We have a very nice small pool here. And you know, ladies, I might do my skinny dipping again just before I go to bed. I did it last night and it was so lovely. You know, I do my kind of yoga in the water because I haven't exercised in so long since we moved to the house. I haven't really done any workout other than walking freckles. So my body is not as flexible as it used to be, and because I work in front of the computer, I sit all the time. Sometimes I have lower back problem. So I did that stretching in the water, some little yoga and push-ups, and it helps so much, man. Oh my God, it's wonderful. So it gives me ideas when I come back in California. We should heat up the pool because the pool is cold 9 out of 12 months. But summer is coming soon. So I would want to be able to swim and just do my water yoga every day. That will be my workout. That'll be awesome. All right. But here, there is another question from Manuela. I'm just going to read one last question here. My ex-boyfriend actually come back after me leaning back. He calls me without saying why, just called. Did not ask why. I really don't know if I want him back now. How can I handle the situation with him? Should I just answer the phone when he calls, or should I not until I'm sure about what I want? He does not know that I don't know if I want him back or not. Then you wanna, answer when you want to answer. Okay, so don't not respond now and then later you get anxious because you realize that you you really do still want him back. Usually when you say you're not sure you want him back, you deep down you still want him back. So yeah, respond, but you don't have to, take him back right away. You still can weigh your options. You still can maintain your rotation. Just because he's back doesn't mean you have to agree to be his girlfriend right at this second. You know what I'm saying? Guys don't have a problem with that. Why do you have a problem with, making him wait a little bit until you're sure? Okay, go back to the giving yourself time to process, to be sure about whether or not a guy is what you want. All right, ladies, thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed this class so much. And please, if you can, again, like, love, forward, and then send it probably to your friends so they learn a thing or two about feminine magnetism that only one coach teaches in the world. That coach is Karina Pang, the man whisperer, and the last resort. I'll see you again um, when I'm back in California for the next class, but I will have a tour, hopefully, of the property in our hotel, our resort in Bali, in Nusa Dua. That's the name of the beach, probably tomorrow or the next day. Bye bye, everyone.